lot of people think that the #1 condiment for fries is ketchup. And I think they would be wrong, because the correct answer is actually ranch. Hello and welcome to Wednesday. We were out today because we had to take care of a few last-minute things, most notably mailing off one of Mal's most recent paintings, the Mario Kart DS Rainbow Road one, Spectrum, because Hurricane Matthew is coming. We really haven't talked about this. I've been a little bit vocal about it on social media, but there is a hurricane approaching. It started down in hurricane land, and it's come up through Jamaica and Haiti and the Bahamas, and it's currently on its way to Florida as a Category 4. Category 4 hurricane is pretty scary. Pretty scary. Category 4 can actually cause some serious damage and screw some stuff up. And it's planning on making its way up the coast, but by the time it gets up here to South Carolina, it's actually going to have died down a lot. In fact, it's going to be like a low Category 2. So there's been a lot of people on social media that have been very concerned, which I appreciate. It's very sweet of you, but we're good. They called for an evacuation of South Carolina several days early, which is a little premature, but I understand that the governor has to do that because she has to keep people safe. But we don't have any plans on leaving. We live far enough inland that we're good. I mean, we're in good shape. There are evacuation zones in Myrtle Beach, and we don't live in one of the zones. Like there's like A, B, C, D, or whatever, and then there's not a zone because you live so far inland, and that's us. I mean, we live very close to the beach. We can get to the beach in like a few minutes, but those few minutes actually make a lot of difference, and that's why we're okay. So people don't need to be concerned. Now it is screwing some things up because October is a crazy busy month for us. As you know, Dan, I talked about the other day, Dan is moving here Saturday, that's screwing some things up with him also because there's a hurricane. And he's coming from Florida, which is where the hurricane's going to hit hardest. That's going to be a lot of fun. Steph and Steve are coming in the middle of the month, so just I don't know how many more weeks, like a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. They're going to be here. And then at the end of October, we are going to be doing Extra Life. So we've got all these different things going on in October, and the problem is, whenever we were scheduling what our next D&D day would be, the only day that worked for everyone was this coming Saturday. So we were like, okay, we got everything worked out. We're going to be able to do it this coming Saturday. And then the hurricane comes. So D&D might have to wait until next month, which is unfortunate. Dan is moving here this Saturday, but I don't know if he'll actually be able to physically get here because there is going to be a hurricane. Even as a low Cat 2, there's still a hurricane, not to mention he's coming from Florida, which is where the hurricane is hitting as a Cat 4. So, it's causing some inconveniences to say the very least. But as far as like a danger to us here in South Carolina, it's not. Now, if people are anyone who's living right on the coast, I mean, if you're living on the beach, there's a lot of houses here that are on the beach. If you're living on the beach, a Category 2 can be very dangerous. But if you are inland, it's really not. Now, we live pretty close to some swamplands. If you recall, if you were watching the vlog last year, you'll know that we actually got flooded out pretty badly. That can happen in a hurricane. It's true. We are in no immediate danger where we are. We're also on the second floor, which helps a ton. But that kind of thing can be a danger too. In a hurricane, for those who are not aware, because there's a lot of people that are on Twitter that they are they're very loud, and I know that they care about us. But they also do not know. I've lived here like my entire life. I've been through over 10 hurricanes. I've seen this stuff. The things you have to worry about in a hurricane are storm surge, for one, which is the flooding, and then projectiles, of all things. I mean, can the wind rip stuff off? Yeah, totally. Like, you can rip things apart. But a lot of times it'll uproot trees, it'll snap off branches, it'll pick up, like, road signs and all kinds of crazy stuff, and then when it picks it up, it becomes a projectile, and that's what's dangerous. That's why they say whenever you're in a hurricane, you should go to the central portion of the house, away from all the windows. So for us, that would be there, probably be that hallway over there. So that's probably, the safest place in this apartment. And whenever the hurricane comes through, assuming we don't do D&D, and it is, you know, here, there is a hurricane here, we're probably going to hunker down in the living room and wait it out. Now, are we going to lose power? Almost certainly. It's unfortunate, but we're probably going to lose power. We'll probably work up until we lose power because we just still have a lot of stuff to do. But that's going to be our plan. And Lindsay, we're planning on staying. Lindsay is going to stay, more or less based on my recommendation. I was like, yeah, it's fine. You'll be fine. So she'll probably come over, and she may stay the night with us. I'm not sure. Just so she has some company. Because the storm can be scary. I mean, if you've ever experienced a really crazy thunderstorm, imagine that on steroids. It's a very crazy, scary thunderstorm that lasts a long, long time. But for this particular scenario, everything should be fine. We should be safe. I'm not real concerned about it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Matthew, at least for now. Now, the model does change every day, but every day it's actually working in our favor. Every day it's actually getting away from South Carolina. Now, exactly when it's going to hit and how hard it's going to hit us specifically, I don't know, but we're going to know really soon because it's Wednesday, and that thing's going to be here probably like Friday evening, Saturday morning, so we're going to know very, very soon. It's a shame that D&D is most likely going to be canceled, but I guess we'll play next week. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we? Yep. This is the way it's supposed to be.